Let me get adjusted. Y'all already know. What's up, y'all? Tasha checking in with another live video. I don't know why my little table over here seem like it'll move. Child, I be having to get adjusted, y'all, when I go live. So y'all already know, like, when y'all come in live with me, it's gonna take a few moments for me to get some things together. Okay, fix my chair. All right, I'm ready. All right, what's up, y'all? Tasha checking in with another video. And this video is going to be my live review of none other than The Color Purple. Sister, you've been on my mind. If y'all know, y'all know. So come on in. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel, y'all. We are on a push to get over 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So I finally saw Color Purple, the 2023 version remake of the 1985 Color Purple. And y'all, let me tell y'all, I had to come out and do this live review because I was so looking forward to this movie. When I heard that it was coming out, I was like, oh my God, I am in it. I'm there. I was ready to go see it. I was ready for this movie. I was like, it is going to be amazing because Color Purple is one of my favorite movies. Okay. So I was ready. I was like, I'm ready to go see this movie. And for some reason, I was not able to get to the movie theater. Something kept happening where I was not able to be there. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to see it at some point, because it was a big hoopla about it. And I was like, at some point, I'm going to go see this movie. And so I was just never really able to get to the movie theater. So finally, I have a Fire Stick in my house. Don't judge me. Don't throw tomatoes. Where I can see some of the newer movies that come out maybe a week or two after they've been out, and I can click on my Fire Stick and see it. Hey, whatever, okay? Don't judge me. So I went ahead and I finally was able to sit and watch the remake of Color Purple. And when I tell y'all, it was an actual natural disaster. It was the worst movie remake I have ever seen. Y'all, I'm gonna get into some notes because y'all already know I take notes so I can stay on track. So for y'all who do not know what Color Purple is, y'all never heard of Color Purple, it is a movie that came out in 1985, right? This is the original of the movie. And so the main character is Celie. And the setting is in the deep south. I'm not sure where exactly they were in the deep south. I want to say Mississippi. I want to say maybe a little lower than Mississippi. I don't know. I don't know exactly where they were, but they were in the deep south. This was during like a 1919, way back, many moons ago, when women were treated less than, especially if you were a black woman. And so the main character, Celie, it was about her life, basically, the trials and tribulations that she endured, and the separation from her sister, the separation from her stepfather, and everybody connected to her that ended up being connected to her, and their different trials and tribulations. Okay, and so it was directed by Steven Spielberg, the original, the 1985 version, and Quincy Jones. He ended up producing it. So Steven Spielberg directed it, Quincy Jones produced it, the 1985 version. Fast forward, the 2023 version, Steven Spielberg said, I ain't directing nothing. Now, I don't know who directed this one, but the producers was Steven Spielberg, Quincy Jones, Oprah Winfrey, and what is his name? Scott hold on, I had Scott Sanders. I don't know who that is. So they were all of the ones who were producing the original 2023 version. Let me tell y'all something. When you do people dirty, because y'all know it was a whole big old thing behind Oprah not paying people their worth in this movie, not really giving her all into this movie. And I feel like when you do people dirty, this is what happens. You get a flop of a movie, okay? Y'all heard, it was a controversy with her and Taraji P. Henson, her not really paying her what she was worth or what she was due. Allegedly, I wasn't there. I don't know, but this is what Taraji is saying on the internet streets. And so when you do people dirty, I feel like this is what happens. Success, it doesn't come. And this movie was a big flop because it was all over the place. It was horrible. Let's go down the cast, right? The cast of who it is. And then I'm going to just, once I go down the cast, I'm going to tell y'all what I think of their role in the movie. So Celie, which was the main character, she was played by Fantasia as an adult. But the young Celie was played by Felicia Pearl Papsy. I think it's Patsy. That's her name. Now, Celie's character, the young Celie, she did okay. I think she did okay in her role. She gave it what she could give it. She did better than Fantasia, in my opinion. Now, I've heard that Color Purple did have a musical that was on Broadway, and I heard Fantasia did a good job. I think maybe Fantasia did a better job in the Broadway play, but in the movie, her acting was lackluster. It was not believable. Sometimes I feel like she wasn't in the scene or there. I just didn't think that she connected with the character. Fantasia's role as Celie was horrible. It was a fright. I was like, what is going on? So we had Whoopi Goldberg. She ended up making an appearance in the beginning when young Celie was giving birth to her first child. So it was great to see Whoopi Goldberg back on the screen in the movie, and she was only doing a cameo. Like, she was the midwife. She was only there to deliver the child, and that was it. But young Fantasia did good. I'm sorry, young Celie did good. Older Celie, played as Fantasia, did not do good. I did not like her acting as Celie. It was horrible. On to the next character, which was Nettie, that was played by Halle Bailey. Okay, we know Holly and Chloe, I think that's her sister's name. We know those two singers. They came out, Beyonce discovered them. They are singers. We know Holly was in The Little Mermaid, which I still have not seen. And we know she's done a couple of things. So she was young. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Was she young? Yes, she was young Nettie. Holly was young Nettie. She did a good job too. I thought she did a good job. She could have gave a little bit more as Nettie, but I think she did an okay job as Nettie. Then we pan over to Ciara. Y'all know who Ciara is. Russell Westbrook Ciara. Ciara from Atlanta Ciara. Ciara the singer. She played Nettie at an older age. Horrible. She sucked. Ciara as Nettie sucked. She didn't give too much emotion. She did. Horrible. It was a horrible hot mess as Nettie. Ciara did not play that role. Everybody that played the young version of Celie and Nettie, they did a good job. Now, the singing was great in the whole movie. I will say that. I didn't know Taraji could hold the tune, but she did hold the tune in the movie. I thought Fantasia's singing didn't give it though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a fan. I like Fantasia. I think her singing is amazing. But I feel like for this movie, I don't know if she was holding it back, if she didn't want to outshine people. I just don't know if the volume was up in my house. I didn't know what was going on. Fantasia's singing was not what we're used to. And I was just like, what is going on? The whole time I'm watching a movie, I'm getting madder and madder because this is one of my favorite movies. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Next character, and I'm going over the cast, y'all. Next cast member was Mr. He was played by Colman Domingo. I don't know where they got this Mr. from. I don't know where they got him from. Wasn't that the many people that auditioned for Mr.? He was horrible. You know what? Mr. was supposed to, the original character of Mr. in Color Purple. Envision Ike Turner meets, Ike Turner meets like, whatever abusive other character you could think of, meets them. That is what Mr. gave. He was very abusive to Celie. He was over her dominance. He didn't play them games. He struck fear in Celie, right? This dude, Colman Domingo, he didn't strike fear in a freaking toddler. Like he did a couple of things where he kind of like hit silly a little bit, said a little stuff, and she act like she was a little scared or whatever. But I just couldn't feel it through the screen. I was like, who is this guy? Didn't do a good job. I didn't like him as Mr. I feel like he just didn't give it to. Moving on to the next castmate, which was Suge Avery, which was Taraji P. Henson. Taraji did okay. For her to sit up here and come out here and say, Oprah ain't paying me what I'm worth, baby, I expected for an Academy Award performance, Taraji. And I love me some Taraji. She my DC homegirl, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm going to call a thing and call a thing. Taraji, your acting was lackluster. It was just... it was just okay. It wasn't nothing that I'd be like, you know what, get that lady her money. You know what I'm saying? Like, she sung, she embodied a certain type of swag that kind of Suge had, but baby, she didn't give it. You know what was so messed up? Me and my husband was watching a movie together, and we could not wait until the scene. God is going to tell you something. Y'all know in the original Color Purple, Suge ends up hearing this song afar off. She's by the lake doing her blues that she does, and all of her band is there, and she hears this song from the church that is not far from where she's at. So y'all know that she starts to sing the song too, and she, speak Lord, y'all know that song, speak to me, speak Lord, speak to me. Yeah, that whole part of the movie, right? So she goes and she starts walking down there and she's singing the song, so much so that she's overpowering the lead of the song in the church. Then they bust in the church and she's singing the song. The choir's backing her up. Everybody in there is happy, is live. She comes to her dad and she says, see, daddy, even sinners have a song. And she hugs her daddy and they're crying. It was just such a beautiful, beautiful moment. That part in the original was epic. In the remake, let me tell y'all what they did in the remake. Taraji comes in and the father is played by David Alan Grier. He's sitting on the piano or whatever he's doing. She come in singing a little bit of the song and sit down beside him, and then they reconcile at that moment. I said, boom! My husband was so mad after the movie went off. He went on YouTube to find the original. God's trying to tell you something. It was horrible. It was not what it should have been. I was so annoyed. Anyway, Taraji just did okay. If I had to rate her performance on a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, she was a 5. She was a 5. I mean, she wasn't... Who could have played Suge? Put in the comments, if y'all replay watching, y'all out there, live watchers, put in the comments who y'all think could have played Suge. In my opinion, they could have probably found somebody else, Taraji. I mean, I don't know. Just wasn't great. And I love her. I'm a fan of hers. Next cast member was none other than Sophia, who was played by Danielle Brooks. Now, if y'all don't know who Danielle Brooks is, if y'all ever watch Orange is the New Black, she was the heavyset girl on there that was really close friends with Poussey. So if y'all don't know, go Google it and see who it is. But she actually did a great job as Sophia. Now, if anybody was going to complain about getting some more money, she should have. I feel like she really did a good job as Sophia. I was pleasantly surprised with her remake. Now, she didn't give us Oprah Sophia, but she did give us an updated version of Sophia, and I was pleased with her performance. I think from her singing was just okay, but everybody ain't gonna be no star-studded singer, you know what I'm saying? So her singing was okay. The choreography with the background dancers when she did her parts was good. I just think she did a good job. I think she did a good job as that character. Really, really good. I don't have no complaints about her. Then we get down to Mister's dad, which was Lou Gossett Jr. He was okay. He's an older guy. Lou Gossett Jr. played Mister's dad, but he still didn't give us he did not give us Mister's dad in the way that I feel like it should have been given. He was just okay, but since he's an older guy, I would give him a pass. He was right. Then we get down to Harpo. Y'all know Harpo is Mr. Sun. He was played by Corey Hawkins. I don't know who Corey Hawkins is. I got to do the research. I feel like he did okay as Harpo. He was okay. He was okay. I mean, he did kind of embody the original Harpo and everything. So, I mean, he was all right. He was okay. Then we get down to Squeak. Remember Squeak? Squeak. My name ain't Squeak. My name is Mary Agnes. Y'all remember her in the original, right? So Squeak was played by her. Horrible. Squeak was horrible. Let me tell you something. And I like her. I feel like her has a great voice. If y'all don't know who her is, that is her stage name. I'm pretty sure her real name is something else. Look it up if you don't know it. I don't know it. But she is a singer. I love her voice. It's a soulful, sultry voice. I love her voice. Her acting was horrible. On a scale of 1 to 10, her acting was like a 3. I was just like, who the heck? So, who did no one want to audition for Squeak? And they was just like, let's do her. It was bad. Her did not give us what it should have gave. Next cast member, Alfonso, which was Celie's. Excuse me, I had to burp. If y'all heard that, I'm so sorry. So Alfonso, which is Celie's stepdad, we find out she thought that was her pa, remember, in the original. But it ended up not being her pa, it ended up being her stepdad, okay? And so her stepdad was played by Dion Cole. Now, Dion Cole, it was such a small part, just like Squeaks was. But even if you have a small part, I feel like you should give it your all. Whatever the part is. If I got 1 line or 2 lines, baby, you're going to remember me if I'm doing a role, because I'm going to give it to you. Dion Cole, he was okay. I mean, his part as her father. You know what's crazy? As her stepfather, he struck more fear than Mr. did. I feel like they should have reversed the roles. Maybe they should have gave Dion Cole Mr. and gave what's his name? Coleman Domingo. They should have gave him Celie's father. I'm just saying, they could have called me and asked me. But they should have flipped those roles. Dion Cole should have played Mr. and the other guy should have played Celie's stepfather. But what do I know? I wasn't giving out parts. Then we get down to Suge's husband, which was played by John Batiste. If it's wrong, if I'm saying it wrong, put in the comments. He did horrible. But I mean, if I can remember Suge's original husband, he just did okay. He was just he had a little part in there and he just did okay. But his acting, in my opinion, was horrible. I didn't like it. He was just okay. First lady of the church was played by Tamela Mann. She did a good job. Her part was small. We know that Suge's father, Reverend, was played by David Alan Grier. He did an okay job. Miss Millie, the lady that wanted Sophia to work for her, and all of that was played by Elizabeth Marvel, and she played Miss Minnie. But and then again, her Miss Minnie was just lackluster too. Like, Miss Minnie, in my opinion, was kind of dramatic in the original, and she didn't give me the Miss Minnie dramatics that we got in the first one. Now on to some of the scenes of the movie. I'm only going to talk about some of the bigger scenes of the movie. Okay, first of all, y'all already know they cut out the part where Suge came to the house and said, "You show is ugly." Remember when she got to the house and she lifted up and she looked at Celie, because Celie was waiting to see Suge, and she lifted up and she said, "You show is ugly." They left that part out. I said, what in the world? So they cut that part out. They didn't have that. I don't understand that. Then they put in a part where Suge and Mr. was dancing in the living room, grinding and stuff like that. I was like, we didn't need that part. I don't understand what that was trying to say or prove. I didn't like that part being in there. When Suge sung Sister, oh my goodness. First of all, y'all know that's a classic song. Sister, you've been on my mind. She didn't give it what it was supposed to be given. She did not it just wasn't the sister that we know. And I was just like, what is going on? What is going on? Then when Celie got the letters from Nettie, remember Mr. hid the letters from Nettie that she was writing, and Nettie went to Africa. They would pan over to parts of the Africa scene where Nettie was there with the of what was going on at the time. It was lackluster. It was not giving. Why was Celie reading a letter in this tree? Like, it gave me like y'all remember oh God, what is his name? The director of Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, what is his name? Well, that guy. If y'all know that guy, put in the comments. When Celie was in the tree, it gave me that. Tim Burton. Tim Burton, that's his name. He does very dramatic, like kind of like weird kind of backgrounds, like still life looking stuff. She was in a tree that was very much weird looking, and the background was white, and they tried to cut over to the Africa scene, and it just was not given. For Color Purple, the original, to come out in 1985, and it gave everything that it gave, why 2023 could we have not gotten more? Like, we are now advanced in technology, advanced in costume, makeup, artistry, everything that we have in the movie industry, and y'all couldn't give that to this movie? What the heck is going on? Why? That irritated me. What else? When I like the way Suge did her introduction when she was first coming to sing at the juke joint that Harpo had put together. That introduction was good. I did like that. God's trying to tell you something. We already spoke about that a little bit. It was very much nothing. They could have made that part bigger. They didn't. The last part that I feel like was jacked up, I was so I was pissed off about the ending. Let's talk about the ending. So the ending, all of the cast members was around and dressed in white around this tree, almost like this Mother Earth tree. You know how they had it in what's that movie, Avatar, the whole tree. They was gathered around some tree like that. I guess they was doing like a picnic or cookout or something, and they was all around there, and even Mr. was there, and I was like, what the heck is Mr. doing there? He ain't supposed to be there. Yeah, he did right by Celie, but he wasn't supposed to be there. Oh, let's back up. Remember the dinner table when Suge told, from the original, when Suge told Mr. that Celie was coming with her husband and her to Memphis, and that was dramatic in the first one. Remember, Mr. was kind of like, you ain't going nowhere, blah, blah. He didn't give it to Celie in this one like he should have. Fantasia did a horrible job. Remember how Celie got up, did the knife, and did the till you do right by me fingers? Like, she did it, but it was so dry. I was at the TV like, why did they do this to my movie? It was the worst thing I have ever. Okay, so back to the end. So they around this tree, they all dressed in white. Mr. was there, I don't know why. So then all of a sudden, Celie is facing this way, and behind her comes up Sierra, which plays Nettie's character, and then her children comes up. And y'all know, listen, the original Color Purple, every time I watch it, every single time I watch it, at the very end, I cry, because that is a very emotional scene, in my opinion. Because remember, she was separated from Nettie when they were younger. She had not seen her in years. And then she had just found the letters because Suge had helped her find the letters. So she really thought that maybe Nettie was dead, because she hasn't received a letter from her in all this time. Yeah, when at the end, Sierra just got out the car as older Nettie, and she was just like singing some little sister something she said. I don't even know what the song was. It was so irrelevant and lackluster. And then Celie freezes because she knows it's her sister, and she turns around and they had this whole hug and stuff, but it wasn't the same. Y'all know in the original, she was like, Nettie! She was like, Celie! And it was just a whole, they kissed and did a little and was real emotional, child. And then when the kids came out of the car, they were even lackluster. Like, you know how the kids in the original was like, Mama. They was even lackluster. It was just so horrible at the end. From the beginning of this movie to the end, my favorite part of this movie, what was my favorite part? Okay. Uh, okay. My favorite part would have to be when Sophia was leaving Harpo. Remember when Celie in the original told Harpo to hit Sophia because Sophia was off the chain. And remember, Sophia came up and she said, "You told Harpo to beat me." Okay, I feel like in this one, the Danielle Brooks that plays Sophia did not give us that whole moment, but she did give us something. But she had a song attached to it, and her background cast members was dancing and everything. And she basically, all of the cast members were supposed to be her sisters, the background dancers, and they was getting her stuff out the house because y'all know she was leaving Harpo for hitting her. And so that I guess would be my favorite part that gave the most out of the movie, but yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. If I had to give this movie a total review on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 3. 3. 3. And I can't even believe I'm giving it a 3 because, like I said, Color Purple is one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite movies. Like, I could watch it right now and just be engulfed in it because I just love that movie. And the funny thing was, I didn't even know Steven Spielberg had directed the movie until this movie came out. Like, I had no idea. And so to know that Steven Spielberg was involved in it again, but I think he's much older now, so it's just kind of like maybe he wasn't able to give as much. But I feel like when Oprah put her hat into the ring for this remake, she did a disservice. And it's crazy because you were in the original, but see, the Oprah that was in the 1985 version is not the same Oprah that we know today. You know what I'm saying? I feel like because she makes more money today, she's a little different in the way of her thinking, the way she treats people, whatever. And this is all my opinion. I don't know this woman personally. It's just off of the energy I feel from her, from what I've seen other people have said about her. I don't know her, so I can't give my whole viewpoint of her as a person, but based off of just what I feel based off of what I've seen her, read, and all of that mess about her, she just doesn't seem like a genuine person in a certain dynamic. You know, I feel like she puts on this fake facade that she's genuine, but she's not really. And I feel like that's why the movie flopped, because she was involved in it and she did not give the people that was in the movie their just rights, their just desserts and everything, and it just flopped. It wasn't good. I'm glad I did not pay to go see it. If I had paid and went to the movies to go see this, I would have been severely disappointed and would have probably demanded my money back. So y'all can take my word for it, but y'all don't have to. Go ahead and watch it for yourself and then come back to this review and drop in the comments what you think. And if you've seen it already, drop in the comments if I'm spot on, if I'm off, if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me. Go ahead and drop what you feel about the Color Purple remake. Let me know what y'all think. Live watchers or replay watchers, go ahead and drop what y'all think about the movie. I didn't like it, but that's just me. Somebody else out there could have liked it, could have said it was great, and could dive into little scenes and tidbits and stuff like that about the movie. But yeah, I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it. If one thing I will say, the person that did the costumes, they were good. If we had to look at aesthetics and other things outside of the movie, costumes was good. The hair seemed great. The makeup seemed good. For what it was worth, for whatever parts, the makeup and stuff was in there. But in the totality of the movie, no, I wouldn't go see it. Nope, not at all. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's the end of my review for the remake of Color Purple. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for watching. Go ahead and like this video, comment in the video, and most importantly, subscribe and make sure that your bell is on when you subscribe so you can get all of the content that I drop. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. I love y'all so much. Until we meet again. Bye, y'all.